Today we're going to show how you go about registering a copyright online. We're going to focus on architects or engineers who register their drawings as either technical drawings or architectural works. This is the Copyright Office main page, www.copyright.gov, and here on this screen we've got a number of choices. There's something called Copyright Basics, which brings up a file, a PDF file, which you can download to your computer, talking about the basics of copyright law, laws and regulations, the U.S. Copyright Act here, regulations, some other things related to that. Another area that you might want to take a look at is circulars and brochures, and there are a number of these that you might want to download, take a look at, which includes the Copyright Basics one on the first page, but a number of other things such as copyright notice and so forth. But today we're going to talk about how to actually file a copyright application. So we're going to go to this area right here, the ECO logon, which gets you to this screen. Take a look at that, and we move on to the actual logon page. If you do not have a user ID and password, in other words, if this is the first time you're here and you're going to register your work, you want to click the New User tab where you fill in your information. You don't have to pay for anything at this point, so go ahead and do that. There's really no obligation. The only time you pay for anything is when you're actually registering a work. You complete your application, and then before you upload the work itself, then you pay. Currently, it's a $35 fee per registration. So what I'm going to do is actually go ahead and log in, and then here's our initial screen. Down here I've got some open cases, so if you've done a few of these registrations, you're going to see some items over here. But to start out with, under copyright registration, register a new claim. That's what we're going to click, and this shows us our steps that we have to go through. First step is to complete an application, and I'm going to walk you through that in a minute. Once you've completed the application, then you pay, make your $35 payment by credit card. Once that's received and the credit card is accepted, then the final step is to submit your work. I'm not going to show you that because I'm not going to be actually making a payment, but essentially in submitting your work, you're going to have your drawings in a PDF format, and you'll upload those to the Copyright Office. There's a 1-hour time limit on that. So let's say you have 100 or more large architectural drawings. You might hit that limit if each of those drawings is several megabytes. If you have a fast connection, you might be okay, but with a slower connection you may have to submit that in several pieces. Another thing you can do in submitting your work is to take your PDF files and compress them using zip files, and if you don't know how to do that, you might want to check with somebody that does know how to do that. That compresses it by maybe a third or so. We hit Start Registration. Over here on the left, you're going to see a list of tasks that need to be done, and then there will be check marks under completed as you go through each step. So let's start our application here, and the first thing to do is decide what category of work it is. For architectural drawings, engineering drawings, it's going to be a work of visual art. You can click on this and it'll give you some explanation as to what that is. So the way you enter that is go down here, there's a box, type of work, work of visual arts. Used to be called a VA form, and we're going to continue. And you can see up here you've completed the very first step. Next thing to do is come up with a title for the work. So we'll hit new. We've got a new title. The title type, there's a few choices here. Generally for architectural drawings, you're just going to say title of work being registered, and that's the name of the project. So in our case, we're going to have a hypothetical project. We're going to call it New Office Building at 401 North Michigan Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. It can be a descriptive title. It can be whatever you've got on your first sheet of drawings, but it should be something that obviously relates to the project, maybe what's in the title block, whatever it is. So now we're going to save that, and here's a chance to review it, and we'll hit continue. So now we're on to the next one. The next category. Has this work been published? Generally, you're going to say no. Architectural drawings generally not published. You do have to fill in year of completion, year of creation. So that's the date, the year in which those drawings are completed. And it doesn't necessarily mean completed. It's the year that the set of drawings that you're submitting to the Copyright Office were last worked on. So if you look in your title block, it's going to be whatever the last entry is for the set. So I'm just going to say right here 2013. You're not going to have anything for pre-registration number, and we're going to hit continue. And now we're up to authors. I'm going to put in new, and here the choice is going to be between an individual author or an organization. So if you are an individual architect, then, and you're doing this as a sole practitioner, as an individual, you'd fill in your name right here. Most times you're going to have an architectural firm, a corporation, a partnership, whatever. So you're going to put in your firm name over here as the author. We're going to say, so we've got a hypothetical firm right here, Wright Associates, LLC.